Hello and good morning. Henning here. Trying a different ratio today because I need more space. Also trying no autofocus because of that lens. Oh, where's my coffee? Wait, I'll be right back. Hello. Today's the first gear meet. It is Saturday, for you, yesterday. First gear meet, I've got 35 guitar players storming the castle, coming into my garden. We have set up some tents and stuff, so we're gonna hang out and talk. So I will report on how that went, and hopefully we can start this in the community globally. Everyone meet, hang out, talk gear, check out stuff. I was quoted in Danny Sapko's video as someone saying, I don't want to make this video. I really didn't want to make my Fender video because I really thought the topic had been discussed. However, there were people that asked me, can you please give your point of view? And I think because it's a 1 hour long video, went deeper than other people because I didn't just discuss the Fender legal situation right now, but also how we got here and how Fender has behaved to the stores, how it's going to affect the store relationships, the relationships with artists and possibly influencers, all that. However, in that video, I did say some things that in the thousands of comments that are now there, I had to answer to, and I just couldn't answer the same thing over and over. So I will do that here. And I also watched a whole bunch of other videos. Just now I watched a 10-minute video from a German copyright lawyer who is a guitar player who talked about the situation. So I watched quite a few other videos. I read the statement on a German law website from a law firm who talked about it and who actually talked about more details than we had before. I also read the letter from a lawyer that was hired by a big manufacturer who didn't get a letter, by the way, who was not on the cease and desist mailer, who simply wanted to know where do we stand if the letter comes. None of it is certain. That lawyer, with the statements I think she made, said, this is what I think, but I do think, I'm not 100% sure, we need more information. Okay, we're going to get in there in a bit. A couple of things I said in my Fender video that I might have to apologize for or, go into a bit more detail. I said this is all Dear Leader's fault. And of course, the MAGAs were out. I was not called, I was accused of having Trump derangement syndrome, which is beautiful. If people criticize you hard, you just make up a fake psychological disease and everything's good. And then your followers run around calling people, you got TDS. It's called having a brain. It's called having to think about stuff. And when I say these things, now the comments will be, don't get political. Fuck that. Fuck the living shit out of that. Get political. Talk about this. Say something when things are wrong. Not getting political is a piss easy way out of not getting into trouble. You know what trouble I'm getting into? I'm losing subscribers. I lost a shit ton of subscribers because I said that in the video. Okay, that's my choice to risk that. I also gained more than I lost. So boo-hoo. Great thing is, we used a big sieve. We put the subscribers in there, and we lost some that say I have TDS, or, still think what's going on is all normal and all great. Let's build ballrooms when people don't have shit to eat. Great idea. Anyway, yeah, I'm fucking getting political. But I also gained more than I lost. And even if I didn't, this is what we need to do. We need to speak up, even on a guitar channel. But anyway, what I meant by that was not that Trump's responsible for the Fender thing. So let me just clarify. I think we just now live in a society where if the leadership, the administration of a country, where the big people are bullying, are calling people in their face, you're a stupid person, you're a low IQ person. This is bullying. Bullying companies. Honestly, full disclosure with you, I bawled my eyes out yesterday. I was sitting here sobbing because I watched the last... I'm not going to do it. Because I watched the last episode of The Late Show with Steve Colbert. Steven. And they did such a beautiful show, bringing it to a close. And all these people showed up. And the team, these people are all now out of a job. Because corporations won. Because a big-ass, multi-billionaire guy bought the TV station. This should be ours. This should be ours. This is our show. These are our people that speak for us. And it should be ours. But it isn't. It's the billionaires. They bought it. You know, they want to suck up to the man. And they cancel the guy that's criticizing the man. It made me so sad. So this is the world we live in. Bullying, being normalized, being everyday, you know? One little thing. I mean, imagine if anyone, whether it'll be Clinton, Reagan, Merkel, anyone would have said to anyone on a running camera, you're a low IQ person, you're a stupid person, you're just bad. This would have been career destroying. And now it's just normal. It's just totally normal. So this Fender thing is one more of this type of behavior. I think in a society where we live and let live, where we all try to work together, would they have dared to do that? Have they? Look, of course, Fender and big corporations have been dicks before. Dick weasels. Dick weasel. Dick weasel. Before this administration ever took over, of course. But I think these kind of ruthless actions, cease and desist over this, I don't think they would have dared to do that unless they know they have the backing from an administration that's all pro-business and fuck the little guy. Avi Shabbat on Tone Talk, great luthier, just said, you know what, all the boutique builders, LSL, Friedman, Shabbat, McMull, Suhr, all Nick Huber, all these guys, they are in direct competition in that price range, in a small market that buys high-end guitars, but they're friends. They don't see themselves in each other as competition. So it's possible. We can all play nice with each other. But when it's not encouraged from the very tippy top, it's easier to be a dick. That's what I meant. And I'm sorry, I absolutely, to my American friends, there are millions and millions of you who are amazing people. I lived in the States for 10 years. I lived in Boston. I lived in Los Angeles. I have hundreds, if not thousands, of friends that I made memories with, places I lived with. I lived next to a pretty hardcore right-wing Bush supporter in 2001. I woke up in the States looking at the towers burn, and we sat together. And, you know, this was a guy who was pretty hardcore right-wing, driving the biggest freaking truck you could have, you know. I mean, everything about them was, you know, Texas all the way. And we were great friends. We had great discussions. We listened to each other's arguments. Where are those times? Jeremy and Kendra were amazing friends, and I dearly miss them, even though we really didn't see eye to eye on so many things. That used to be the world. If you're an American and you don't throw around TDS to insult people and just swash them away as you're just deranged, I fucking love you. Okay? You can do this. You can. This much for the political portion of this video. If you want to unsubscribe because I have an opinion, and half a brain. My wife would absolutely argue that I don't have a whole brain. But let's say I have half a brain, then okay, then I will lose subscribers. There's nothing I can do about it. I also said in the video that I will understand if some of my colleagues who have to earn money are going to work with Fender, and that there's the woman that calls me stupid all the time. I mean, I just said, I think I have half a brain. I think she would even argue that it's half a brain. How much of a brain do you think I have?
Only half.
Only half. Okay, wow, I'm getting half. This is my breakfast.
Maybe less than.
Thank you. Grapes. She's amazing. I said that I understand that some of them have to be less honest or not honest. I didn't mean in any way that they would be less honest in their review of the product or in the job they're doing. What I meant is they might want to speak up about Fender. They might want to say, this is bullshit, screw you. But they can't, because in a way, sometimes these companies, and they're not our boss. It's not, we are self-employed. That's not true. But if you got kids in college, you have car payments, and you just booked 3 videos with Fender that are already filmed, what are you going to do? Okay? Many of us, including me, we're not financially independent so that we can do whatever. I said in my other video, Fender books about 1 video a year. I'm okay not getting that payment, right? But I never meant that any of my colleagues would be dishonest, simply not making a video about Fender and possibly still showing some Fender products in the future. I understand, and I'm not going to fault them for that, because I love my colleagues on YouTube. I have 3 videos coming out from the Fender showroom, and I want to know what you think, because I went to the Fender showroom in London with Perfecto de Castro and Colin Scott. And I made a video about the Fender floor, the Gretsch and Chevelle floor, the Chevelle and Jackson floor, and the Gretsch. So I've got 3 individual videos. They're not out yet. What am I going to do with them? We went to London. There's a lot of work that went into this. Now, do I kill those videos? I wasn't paid for them, by the way, and I wasn't going to get paid. These are free videos for Fender. But they are Fender promo videos. So, what do you think my best course of action is? I just saw Danny Sapko's video, who went to the Fender showroom, and Danny's got bigger balls than I do. He wrote a beautiful song, sticking it to Fender, and he's not going to use the content that he made there. So, I already put a disclaimer on them. I made these videos before Fender went crazy. I changed the title to, this was before Fender, went stupid, or something like this. But it's still a video promoting Fender. Now, do I put a big disclaimer, talking into the camera, before the videos? And that way I can save the content, but it would still be promoting Fender. I thought I might take him down, take the video, and actually do a new voiceover. So you don't hear what I was saying there, but just make it funny. Say Dick Weasel 5 times. Dick Weasel. Dick Weasel. Something like this. Maybe even generate a funny AI song about Fender being Dick Weasels, the Dick Weasel song, and put that on top of the video. Because honestly, these 3 videos, with me having about 4 videos a week, sometimes 5, represent about a week of my time. And now because Fender is suing people, they're fucking with my work. Because I spent the time doing this, and for me, that would mean 1 week of extra work. So what do you think is the best recourse? Is it enough to write in the description, I'm not on Fender's side? Should I put a disclaimer in front of him? Should I do a voiceover having fun with it? I could do a secondary audio track. You can do that on YouTube now. So you switch it to, Spanish, and then it's me doing the voiceover. Suggest what I could do there. Okay, so I'm sorry that I pulled in the American administration into this. I think I told you what I thought and why. It's just bullying being normalized. I'm sorry to all the creators that I might have offended. I don't think you are dishonest or that you'd have to be dishonest. only dishonesty in the way of you're not commenting on the situation because you have a paid gig. That is important. Fully understood, right? And everyone has to make their own decisions how that comes across to their audience. I'm not going to tell anyone that's bad or good. And again, to the people that know that I'm talking to them, I love the flying fuck out of you. Okay? You're the brother I wish I had, not the atrocity of a brother that's across the street with his hair and the opinions and the... I love my brother too, but... So we're going to get into another thing, the nitty-gritty of the Strat. Because of those court things that I read, not court, the lawyer stuff, I think the situation isn't as bad as it is, or as I made it out to be, or as some other people made it out to be. Bernd Kill said in this video, well, is the PR going to be a problem? No. We're so far away from that. I think Fender fucked themselves much harder than we think. It's not about all Strat bodies and types of guitars. Here's the argument. Now, I could be wrong about this, but this is what I think has been distilled in all the commentary, including stuff from lawyers. Now, this is clearly a Strat. It's as much of a Strat as a Strat can be. Well, it isn't because it's a McMull. And we know this instantly when we look at the headstock. But I get Fender's issue. I get it. When you don't have this, which is protected by Fender, and you look at this, the McMull really has done zero to make it different because it didn't have to, because it was totally fine. And actually, they still can. They're in Israel, so European law doesn't apply there. But shipping to Europe, that can't be, because then they're in trouble. So what their lawyer is arguing, which is of course total bullshit, is that this is a work of art and an expression of the artist, the asymmetry of the two S shapes right here. This is the outstretched arm of a dancer. So this is a woman, right? It's the silhouette of a woman. The outstretched arm of a dancer being higher than this. This is the butthole. I have no idea. They're arguing this because art can be protected under this type of, I think it's copyright. Function cannot. If it's a thing that resulted out of a functional decision, that's a whole different story. This is art. That's what they're claiming. Now let me tell you what I think of the art. Complete bullshit. First of all, if this was a woman with the curves and the arm outstretched like this and all that, when do you hold a guitar like this? The guitar is seen like this in a stand or when it's on the wall. This is not how a guitar is seen or used by the general guitar playing public. This is how a guitar is seen and used by the general guitar playing public and on stage and so on, or maybe like this. So where's your woman silhouette now? Where's the female body? Where's the outstretched arm? It's all gone. It's all bullshit. This is how the lawyer and the judge, this is how the judge would have had to look at it. And then the whole argument's complete bullshit. Let's take the sunflowers by some dude without an ear. You put them on the side, or you reverse them. Is the artistic intention still there? No. The direction of the art is pretty fucking damn important. I draw an arrow. That's my piece of art. And it points to the right. Well, now I'm going to turn that and I'm going to point it up. Well, my intention to point to the right's gone, right? The art's completely destroyed. The intention of the art is never meant to go up. Completely ridiculous. It is a form of function. The form is a result of function. Okay, this shaping right here being different than this. Well, this has to be on your leg. But this is where your belly is. The belly calf. This is not female form. This is because we're fat. This is not the buttocks of the woman. No, this is because your arm goes on it. This is all function. Nothing here is about a beautiful form. It's also a beautiful form, but that's not why. Why is this longer than this? Well, because the guitar needs to be balanced, right? On the strap. This is what's happening. This is functional, not artistic. All these things are because of function. Now, okay, we could argue the pickguard is to install things from the top. And it was not necessary to pull the pickguard all the way in here. That was an artistic decision. You could easily cut the pickguard here and it would still hold all the shit. The decision to put the jack plate here was to make it easier. Not to drill into the side or whatever. This is all function. This is not form. And if it was form like this, okay, I'll give you the arm, the beautiful silhouette of a woman. Where is it? Fucking now! Okay? Oh, I have so many more points to make. I wanted this to be a short video. Fuck. Oh, okay. Stick around. So, the good thing is that apparently some of the defining points of the cease and desist strat letter, the specific shape and dimensions, which is the dimensions we love, and they're also a result of function, and we need them to be functional, right? It can be functional when this is a bit thinner, or when this is a little bit more pointy. Ibanez AZ is actually an improvement on function. Everything about the AZ is more ergonomic than this. And form-wise, Ibanez has no problems. Do we need this on top? Fuck, we do not. This can easily be on the side, like the Nick Johnston, Schecter, and many other guitars. Not a problem for this to be on the side. All of a sudden, now it's not actually visually a Strat, right? Do we actually need 3 knobs? I think we do not. I think 1 tone is probably enough for most people. I do not know who actually uses the front tone, but I think companies could still sell their Strat bodies if they only had 2 knobs and not do the Fender style knob. We would still buy them. Does the pickguard need to look like that? Not necessarily. What about the 3 single coils? Now, the 3 single coils are very iconic, and this might actually all just apply to 3 single coil Strats. How many of us are buying 3 single coil Strats? Very few. We probably primarily want to go for an HSS. Now, for companies, for example, to go and build a wider pickup, or, do an HSS and do a coil tap and just make a really good coil tap, or maybe put a single coil in a humbucker chassis and have an SSS, but it looks like an HSS, and all of a sudden, maybe, I think, you're good. So put this on the side, give me 2 knobs, HSS, slightly change the horniness, and all of a sudden, you got no problem. Here's the problem for Fender. If it's so easy to be different, but not really different enough to have a problem with sales, then everyone's now going to make the tiniest tweaks to their guitars, be scot-free legally, sell all these S-type guitars legally, and Fender's got nothing on them. No licensing, no anything. Fender going so hard after the companies, and now the companies not be willing to go into a licensing agreement because Fender never even offered that. Fender going so aggressive will result in them saying, okay, what minor tweaks can we make that the average guy is never going to even notice? You're probably not going to notice that that's on the side. Because do you really care? I don't know. I think it's easy to make those small adjustments, be legally in the clear, and sell the shit out of your guitars, and Fender still has the PR disaster. Why is Dennis writing me? Dennis, what do you want? Dennis, I can't answer right now. Dennis is sending me Denny Sapko's video. You don't know Dennis. I can't tell you who Dennis is. Okay, so let me show you a version to do this. We've looked at this absolutely stunningly brilliant Tyler before. This is made in Japan, about $3,500. With that, it's a direct competition to the Ultralux Vintage at the same price point. We have an HSS, so we're pretty much I think good, but maybe the pickup isn't the thing. Where's the jack plate? It's on the side. So visually, not a Strat. Let's look at the contours. It's clearly a fucking Strat if you ask me, but legally, this is a thinner arm. You only really see this if you're contrasting or comparing. This is a bit pointier, and this here is also a tiny bit pointier. Enough to be legal? I kind of do think so. We also have a very drastic shaping in the back here. So I don't know if they looked at the back and if the back is relevant because, of course, visually on stage you wouldn't see the back, but this is a major improvement over this. Also, maybe this neck plate is a problem. Well, in that case, you can do what Ibanez AZ does and screw it directly in the wood, change the design a little bit, don't do the neck plate, and you're good. So I think even very traditional manufacturers like McMull are in a position where they could change their design enough to have a legal guitar and take all the wind out of Fender sales. And out of Fender's argument, sorry. Yep. Another argument. Yeah, but Fender actually invented this. And it is Fender's right to defend their IP. I'm not arguing. You're right. It is. We had many of those comments. I mean, honestly, I think we had probably about 5% of pro-Fender people. I think the ethical, what's the word? Camps are pretty clear here. But let me make that argument. Yes, Fender absolutely has that right. Fender has the right for counterfeits. Defending against the Chinese counterfeit that looked exactly, including the headstock, 100%, I'm with you. That should be prohibited. And for that one case, I think the court was in the right, not for the whole industry. Would it have been okay to defend the body in the 50s? Absolutely. If Leo had said, I created a piece of art here, I want copyright for this. Well, I think by now this would have been public domain, as it is now in the States, by the way. But he didn't, because he did something functional and he knew it. He didn't create a woman. But if it had been done back then, what would have happened is the market would have said, oh, we can't do this. We can't blatantly copy this. We have to change it enough so that it's legal. How much do we have to change it? They would have come up with more body shapes. What you're demanding from all these companies, just, make a more original design, it would have happened. But Fender let the market grow around the Strat. It is the most popular body design. Fender let it happen for 70 years. I mean, they tried here or there to sue, and they failed. So they didn't have a case. The market was allowed legally to grow and grow. Companies were allowed to build a foundation on their product, which was based on Fender's design. I get that. Companies were allowed to thrive. Companies were allowed to hire people, build 401ks, retirements, buy machines. Companies and the world was allowed to base their designs off of the Strat. Going now, letting all this happen, sitting there like, oh, and they're getting money. This is cool. Let them grow a bit. Let them grow more. And maybe one day we'll win this tiny little court case, and then we can fuck them all over. We don't even have to make money. We don't even have to make better guitars anymore. We don't even have to be successful. We let everyone else be successful, and then we take it from them. That's the dick move. It's not that they said, this is ours. They should have said it 70 years ago. They should have demanded it 70 years ago. Letting an industry grow now for this long, where people's lives depend on this, shops depend on it, letting all of us guitar players fall in love with the body because it is a very ergonomic design. It's not just it's pretty. I prefer to hold a Strat over a Les Paul. I mean, this is clearly a different design. And it's also very ergonomic. I like it. But it is quite a bit bigger, right? It is different. It is a different... It's not that I don't like it. But I'm a Strat guy. Many of us are Strat guys. And they let us fall in love with the Sewer, with the Tyler, with the McMall. And now, after having us grown up with that, with all these brands and the Ibanez's, they want to take it away. That is, I think, the dick move. Let me give you an alternative, an analogy, a story, a word things. I said this yesterday in a German podcast with Justin Hombach. If you know the German, watch that. What about the mouse? And I think Apple came up with the mouse and had one button. But let me make the point of a normal mouse. This is a relatively normal mouse, right? This looks like nothing special. This could be $3.99. This is actually one of the most advanced mice on the planet right now. It's the Super Strike from Logitech. This cost me $170, which is ridiculous, but it's massively ultra light, and you can determine when the buttons click. It's all bullshit. I don't need it. I just wanted a cool mouse. But let's look at this very simple looking mouse. Whoever came up with this design with the two buttons and the scroll wheel could have said, I'm arguing copyright. This is artistic. Let's look at it, not lying down, and it has the shape that it has with the two buttons because you have the two fingers and the scroll. This is not a result of function, which it fucking is because it fits in your hand and you go clicky click. But let's look at it artistically. We're gonna hold it like this, the way that nobody ever uses a mouse. And you have a beautiful full-bodied woman with no hips and a big buttocks. And you have the two touchable breast scissors. You have the mouse titties. I can argue that shit. And if you turn it around, here is the clitoris of the mouse that you finger gently. I know I'm disgusting and super sexist, I'm sorry. But let me just make this ridiculous point, just like they did with the Strat, and they knew they were bullshitting. But the judge ate it up. So here's this mouse with the mouse titties and the clit, which is all there out of function because it has a job to do, right? This is not hanging on the wall. Fucking Strat's not hanging on the fucking wall. Whoever did this could have protected that. Is it protected by copyright? I don't know. I actually don't know. I'll look this up after the video. You do the same. But if they had let that sit there, let's say since the mid-80s, late 80s, I don't know when these mice came about. Let's say late 80s. That is now, let's say 86. That is 96, 20, 40 years? 30, 20? It's years. Math is hard. They let it sit there and let a whole industry develop around it. All these companies, Logitech, Razer, a billion others, make their mice. Now they're going to go, it's a big-butted woman with mice tits and a fingerable clitoris. We were doing art. And then they send cease and desist letters saying, destroy all your mice, bring them back from anyone who bought a mouse from you. That's billions, by the way. That's billions of mice. We want all contact information from all... We never even talked about that in the original video. We want all contact information from your clients with address and name. That's fucking illegal. I think. What do I know? I'm not a legal expert. We want all that, and we want you to destroy your whole inventory. Is that not the same? Now again, if they had started in the very beginning, people would have had to come up with something else. Like, maybe this would be the only mouse you can buy now, other than the Fender Strat mouse, which is, the one that where you clicky because it's actually ergonomically sound. Maybe this would be the mouse that We all now know, because companies were forced to do a different design because of a copyright. It's possible. But going back after all these years and saying, oh, by the way, no, back then that's art, and now suing and trying to destroy the whole industry, that's the main issue. I'm not arguing that people are using Fender's design. I'm arguing that Fender simply just let it happen. It is not protected in the US and so on. That ship has sailed. They are very likely not going to get away with it in Europe either. So why take the hate from the fans? Why go through all of this when you have such a small case? When you have companies that you've been working with for years, all these shops, all the relationships, all the trust built with artists and influencers, and the most important, the customer, the consumer, and just put a big ass poop on all of it. I don't know. So I hope I made these extra points about the little things. To the builders, find out what you need to change. Make the tiniest of changes. Make it 1 millimeter more than you have to so Fender can't get you. And you're good. And to all the boutique builders out there, contact me. I charge quite a bit of money for my videos. Oftentimes, it might also be in exchange for an instrument that stays on the channel and then gets played and seen and so on. What I do is honest marketing, which is a thing that now exists, even though you don't want to believe that. But to the builders out there that got a letter, contact me. I will review your instrument for free and I will send it back. No, I mean, if you want to leave it here, that's fine. I would love it. But if you need free promotion on my channel, I will work for days to make a video for you. You don't pay for it. I'm on your side. Any help you need, I'm here. The email is on the channel, hp42@hennypoly.com, I think. Write to me, say, look, we need some help. I'll help you. Because we all need to get closer together instead of further apart. Animals at the end.
And here the feeling comes up.